Finally, the NUX MG30 got the dual rectifier right. If you are watching my videos, you may know that I'm a big fan of the NUX MG30 modeling unit, but I was always struggling with some of the amp models, and one of these amp models where I'm struggling with was the Mesa Dual Rectifier, or Recto as it is called in the NUX MG30. And yesterday I've installed the latest firmware, which is the 323, I think. And suddenly I could get a very good result with the dual rector. So maybe they renewed or they overworked the algorithm. And I would like to show you the patch where I came up with. So I open up the NUX editor for you here. And this is the sound. And as you may know, the thing where I was struggling most with was the flubbiness in the bass. And in the past I tried to reduce the gain in the master, but it didn't work that well. But as you can hear now, it's not flubby, even with a master relatively high here. I tend to keep it lower in the high gain amps, but I think they fixed the problem. And yeah, my effects chain looks like most of my presets. I'm using this steel single drive for boosting the amp. If I turn that off, you have this typical Recto huge low end, which is nice for crunch tones. I like it. By the way, I own the real Recto, so I know how it sounds. It's really a very unique sounding amp. But yeah, if you want to have a tight high gain tone like many metal players, you should boost this thing. And in this unit, I think this is kick-ass, the Steel Singer, so I recommend it. Of course, I use a gate to eliminate the background noise, and my amp settings are here. Usually when I'm boosting the mids in front of the amp, maybe sometimes I have to dial out some mids in the tone stack of the amp or with the parametric EQ. As you can see, I'm doing this here with the parametric EQ. Other than that, it sounds like this, a little bit honky. So here it seems to boost some of these frequencies around 800 Hz, the Steel Singer, so I dial that out. And the honkiness is gone. The amp settings are not that fancy, I think. And what I found out recently is you should be careful with the master. Sometimes you can raise the flubbiness. And you can compensate that if you reduce the master by raising the power amp level here. And also the bias here helps you to get a little bit more take some mids out if you want for recording. Maybe this, if you want to have a more scoop sound, you can reduce the bias. What else? Well, nothing else. I'm using a little bit of reverb here on my rhythm tone. Damp reverb is great, but I also like to use the chorus for widener effect with all of my presets, and also delay, of course, for leads. Of course, I'm using my third-party IR by Own Hammer here, and I'm cutting the highs. Cutting the lows also a little bit. for leads, or if you're playing loud volumes, you can go down to 5K here, I think. And yeah. It's a very usable amp model now. A thing which is overlooked in many applications. The original Recto has a great crunch and maybe light crunch channel. So if you want this huge wall of sound, you can also use the Recto. Reduce the gain a little bit, don't boost it. That's even bigger if you don't boost it. Maybe use a chorus. Like these alternative let me save this, sounds so good. Save as. Saving my as. What is Barrero lead? Sounds like shit. So, back to crunch, and let me show you one thing which I like to do. One thing which I like to do is I like to use a little bit of not flanger. How do you have it? Maybe tremolo or vibrato sometimes. Does this thing have a synchronized tempo? The vibrato? I think no. It's a little bit of a shame. So you cannot set the rate here to the tap tempo. Let's reduce the gain. Oh, interesting. If we reduce the gain, it disappears. So you can see it's a really flexible amp here. Even with these settings, the low gain settings, I like the Recto very much. Univibe. By the way, I'm using a Harley Benton Fusion 2 with this beautiful rusted maple neck, rusted maple fretboard, Roswell pickups, kick-ass guitar. As always, I'm really surprised by the quality of the effects in this unit here. Kick-ass. What else do we have? Let's play around a little bit. Press hold effects mod. Doesn't change back. Ah, here, okay. Chorus ensemble. I think the editor is somehow a little bit hanging. Not working that well, to be honest. Anyway. As you can see, I'm having problems now with the NUX editor, but I think I showed you everything I wanted to, so maybe they should rework a little bit on the editor or on the drivers. I don't know if you got any problems with that, but I discovered these problems recently with some of the new firmwares, but at least the Recto sounds great, and so yeah. I think you should try this thing out, also with reduced gain settings, and yeah, have fun with it. Have a great day. Goodbye.